key to enjoying The Wedding Ringer is to turn off your brain the moment you enter the theater. If you can do that, there's a good chance you'll get some decent laughs out of Kevin Hart and Josh Gad's latest buddy farce. Granted, the plot is moronic and the characters are two-dimensional, but in terms of straight, lowbrow comedy, the movie is actually pretty funny. The story follows Doug Harris, whose wedding to gorgeous fiancée Gretchen, played by Kaylee Cuoco Sweeting, is just days away. The problem is, Doug doesn't have a best man. In fact, he has no friends at all. Faced with no other options, he hires Jimmy Callahan, owner of Best Man Inc., to pretend to be his #1 in front of Gretchen and her family. To make things even more complicated, the lewd and crude Jimmy is supposed to be a military priest named Vic Mitchum. So yeah, the premise is ridiculous, but at least it's somewhat entertaining and fast-paced. Fans of Hart will be happy to know the comedian brings his trademark energy to this and gives The Wedding Ringer a much-needed shot in the arm. Gad is also funny as the bumbling, socially awkward Doug, and the two make a great pair on screen. Additionally, The Wedding Ringer has several riotous set pieces, including a family dinner that literally goes up in flames. That said, the jokes don't always land, and in some cases they border on cringeworthy. Another downside of The Wedding Ringer is its distinct lack of female presence. Despite Cuoco's third billing, her character only occasionally pops up to throw a wrench in Doug and Jimmy's plans. Unfortunately, the same goes for the rest of the female leads. Suffice to say, almost all of these characters could use some fleshing out. For example, Jimmy's eventual realization that he, like the groom, doesn't have any friends might have actually worked in a better scripted film, but here it's all too heavy-handed. Plot-wise, The Wedding Ringer takes all the wrong parts of Hitch and I Love You Man to create a juvenile hybrid of the two, a story that could only exist in the mind of a 7th grader. That said, Hart and Gad give it their all here and offer plenty of laughs, almost enough to forget the stupid premise, cliche characters, and overt sexism. Just like The Groom's Tux, this one's a rental. For more reviews, keep it on IGN.
You have any idea what you're asking for? You're asking me to pull off a golden tux.
Yes, see, I don't see that on this pamphlet here.
It's not on the pamphlet, because what you're talking about is what we joke about around here. That's a laugh. Hey, we should try to do a golden tux. Ha ha ha! Too many moving parts. Too many things can go wrong. No.
But there's a name for it.
There's also a name for a horse with a horn on his head. It's called a unicorn. Don't mean I can get you one.